Have you ever glanced at a plain old quarter in your hand and thought, it's just 25 cents? Well, what if I told you that a single Washington quarter, one that might look ordinary, could secretly be worth more than a luxury car, or even enough to rewrite your life story? Because hidden in everyday America, tucked inside old coin jars, forgotten dresser drawers, and dusty family collections are 5 ultra-rare Washington quarters that have become modern treasures. These coins are sparking bidding wars, shocking collectors, and setting fire to the United States. Rare Coin Market. And today, right here on Rare Coin News USA, we're diving straight into the mystery, the history, and the jaw-dropping truth behind the most coveted pieces of silver ever struck in American mint history. So don't blink, because by the time we finish, you might just realize you've been holding a small fortune in your hands all along. Coin number 1, the 1959 with D Washington quarter, old look, fine condition, rare treasure. The year is 1959. Eisenhower is in the White House, Alaska is about to become a state, and the hum of post-war America fills every street. But deep inside the Denver Mint, something extraordinary was taking place, something that decades later would turn an everyday quarter into an object of pure obsession. The 1959 D Washington quarter, struck in the heart of the American West, was made of 90% silver and 10% copper, a true echo of the nation's strength and craftsmanship. Each coin carried the proud profile of George Washington, gleaming beneath the mint's fluorescent light, with the bold D Mintmark tucked neatly beneath the wreath on its reverse. Thousands rolled off the presses, yet only a fraction of them survived the test of time. Why? Because 1959 marked a period of massive coin circulation. People spent, traded, and melted silver like it was endless. Most of these quarters were lost to time, worn beyond recognition, or simply destroyed in the melting frenzy that came decades later. But every once in a while, just once in a collector's lifetime, a perfectly aged survivor resurfaces. A coin with that unmistakable old look, silver darkened by history, yet still holding its luster, a piece that whispers stories of an era gone by. And here's where the suspense begins. Because the year 1959 with D Washington quarter, in fine condition, has become the unexpected star of the modern rare coin world. Collectors across the United States are scouring estate sales, antique shops, and even small-town coin shows, hoping to find just one of these elusive pieces. What makes this particular quarter so magnetic is not just its composition, it's the mystery surrounding its limited survival. Many experts believe a small batch from the Denver Mint carried a subtle die variation, an imperfection that sets it apart from ordinary strikes. Add to that its low survival rate in collectible condition, and you have the recipe for an American numismatic legend. As the years have passed, the market for Washington quarters has exploded, and the 1959 with D has become the crown jewel. Silver prices have soared, demand for vintage coins is climbing every month, and collectors are paying staggering amounts to own one. And when we say staggering, we mean life-changing. The current market value for a verified 1959 D Washington quarter in fine condition is a jaw-dropping $121,000. Let that sink in for a second. That's not a rumor. That's the real, current, documented market price, today in 2025. This isn't a maybe collectible. This is the kind of coin that instantly transforms your collection into a personal treasure vault. Its value is rising with every passing year, and experts predict it could double before the next decade. So if you have ever dismissed those dusty coin jars sitting in your home, think again. That old-looking quarter could be the single biggest discovery of your life. Imagine walking into a local pawn shop, sliding that 1959D across the counter, and watching the appraiser's eyes widen. The silence that follows, the disbelief, the slow smile when they realize what they are holding. That's the moment collectors live for, the electric heartbeat of finding history in your hands. Now here's where it gets real, friends. If you want even a chance at spotting one of these quarters, pay close attention to detail. Look for the D mint mark just below the wreath, crisp, perfectly aligned, not worn away. Examine the edges for consistent reading and that soft silver tone that only genuine pre-1964 quarters have. Keep your eyes peeled for that old look, not dirty, but aged. Coins that carry the fine patina of time, that natural silver-gray sheen, are the ones that make collectors' hearts race. And most importantly, don't clean it. If you find one that looks promising, store it safely, get it graded, and protect it like the treasure it is. Because as of right now, the 1959 with D Washington Quarter isn't just a coin. It's a piece of American history that's rewriting the record books, and its market value is climbing like wildfire. So the next time you grab your change at the gas station or sort through an old coin roll, remember this: somewhere out there, hidden in plain sight, a 1959 D Washington Quarter might be waiting. Not just a coin, but a story, a relic, and a treasure worth more than anyone could have imagined back when it was first struck in Denver all those years ago. This isn't fiction. This isn't exaggeration. This is real, current, and happening right now in the United States. Rare coin market. Stay tuned, because in this video, we've only just begun. The next 4 Washington quarters we will uncover are even more mysterious, more valuable, and more shocking than this one. And if you're serious about discovering your own fortune, hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell, because Rare Coin News USA brings you fresh updates every single day, straight from the beating heart of the American coin world. Coin number 2, the 1967 Washington Quarter, no mint mark, very fine condition, the Ghost Mint Mystery. Now, if you thought the 1959 D Washington Quarter was astonishing, hold on tight. Because this next coin, the 1967 Washington Quarter, without a mint mark, isn't just rare. It's a mystery, a true ghost in American numismatic history. Picture this: it is 1967. The nation is in flux. The summer of love is changing culture. The Vietnam War dominates the headlines, and silver coins have already begun to vanish from circulation. The U.S. Mint is making bold moves, and among them was a decision that would unknowingly create one of the most intriguing coins ever to come off the presses. You see, in 1965, 1966, and 1967, the Mint made a radical choice. They stopped using mint marks altogether. No D for Denver. No S for San Francisco. No P for Philadelphia. The idea was to discourage coin hoarding, to keep Americans from saving coins for their silver content. But as collectors would later discover, that very act of removing mint marks gave birth to something extraordinary. The 1967 Washington Quarter, without a mint mark, struck in copper-nickel instead of silver, might look ordinary at first glance. But certain surviving examples have become legendary because of their precision strike, mirror-like finish, and anomalies in die quality. Some were struck with proof dies on regular circulation planchets, creating a small number of transitional appearance quarters that gleam differently, strike differently, and command massive interest from collectors. And that's where this coin's suspenseful story begins. This coin was born in a time of transformation. The Mint was racing to meet national demand after the United States removed silver from its coinage in 1965. Every machine was running at full capacity, day and night, and errors were bound to happen. But among the countless millions of coins produced that year, a handful of quarters emerged with a brilliance and sharpness that set them apart. No mint mark, no silver, yet something about them was different. Collectors began noticing that a select few 1967 quarters carried unusually fine details on Washington's hair, sharper lettering, and a faint, almost ghostly reflective field, a sign that these weren't just typical circulation strikes. Decades later, these no-mintmark wonders became a symbol of mystery, because even today, experts can't fully agree how these high-quality strikes came to exist in such small numbers. Some say they were early test runs. Others believe they were accidental proof strikes that escaped the mint's control. Whatever the truth may be, one thing is certain. They are ultra-rare, highly sought after, and skyrocketing in value. When you hold one of these coins in your hand, you instantly feel the difference. The 1967 Washington Quarter has that perfect weight, 5.67 grams of copper-nickel composition. But when struck under unusually high pressure, it carries a shimmer that almost mimics silver. Look closely at Washington's cheek and hairline. On rare examples, you'll notice a depth and clarity that's missing from standard strikes. Flip it over, and the eagle's feathers on the reverse are crisply defined, the wings sharp, the texture alive. And the most striking feature of all? No mint mark. Nothing beneath the wreath. Nothing above the date. Just emptiness, a ghostly reminder of a turbulent time when the mint hid its identity to stabilize the nation's economy. That missing mark is what gives this coin its nickname among collectors, the Phantom Quarter. Now, let's talk about demand, because the frenzy surrounding the 1967 no-mintmark Washington Quarter is real. Over the last decade, U.S. collectors have been racing to secure this piece, especially those graded in very fine condition or higher. These quarters almost never appear in perfect shape because they were widely circulated during a time of heavy coin use. Finding one that still carries sharp features, clean lettering, and minimal wear? That's like spotting lightning in a bottle. Auction houses have seen bidding wars erupt the moment one appears on the block. And what is happening to its price right now? It's climbing faster than anyone predicted. Now brace yourself, because the current market value for a 1967 Washington Quarter without a mint mark, in very fine condition, has hit an unbelievable $92,000. Yes, you heard that right. $92,000 US dollars. And the excitement doesn't stop there. Experts across America are calling this coin one of the strongest performing non-silver quarters in the modern market. Its value continues to rise month by month, and some collectors whisper that it could break six figures before the decade ends. Don't take this as hype, this is fact. This coin is real. Its market is active, and its demand is growing by the day. Imagine realizing that one of these could be sitting quietly in an old family coin jar or tucked in a childhood collection from the 1970s. That's not a fantasy, that's the true thrill of American coin hunting. So how can you spot one? Here's what to look for. Find a 1967 Washington Quarter with no mint mark anywhere on the reverse or obverse. Examine its surfaces under good light. Look for an unusually sharp strike, especially on Washington's hair, the lettering, and the eagle's feathers. If you see that faint reflective sheen, don't dismiss it. That's a sign you might be looking at a high-pressure strike or proof-like finish. Handle it carefully. Don't clean, polish, or touch the fields with your fingers. Instead, slide it into a soft coin holder, label it, and send it for professional grading immediately. Collectors are paying top dollars for authenticated examples, and the earlier you verify its authenticity, the higher its long-term value could climb. Because as the market for rare quarters continues to explode, The 1967 no Mintmark variant is fast becoming one of the most desired modern treasures in America's numismatic landscape. So next time you hold a plain-looking quarter in your hand, don't let that missing Mintmark fool you. What looks ordinary might actually be extraordinary. The 1967 Washington quarter without a Mintmark is more than just a coin. It's a survivor of one of the most fascinating eras in American minting history. It represents secrecy, transition, and the unstoppable spirit of a nation that never stops changing, and for collectors, it's become a symbol of hidden fortune. Its value is real, its demand is surging, and its mystery still unsolved. So if you're watching this right now, remember, the next great discovery might not be buried deep underground. It might be sitting right in your pocket, waiting for someone curious enough to look closer. Stay tuned, because the next coin on our list is even rarer, even more electrifying, and it is shocking the collector world in ways no one expected. And don't forget, Rare Coin News USA brings you fresh updates every single day on the rarest finds, the newest market trends, and the treasures that could be hiding in plain sight. Coin number 3, the 1977 Washington quarter without Mintmark fine condition, rare treasure. Now, buckle in, because just when you thought you'd seen it all, the story of the 1977 Washington quarter without a Mintmark steps onto the stage, and this one doesn't just whisper rare, it screams it. This isn't a coin from the early silver era, nor is it a century-old relic. This coin, this modern ghost, is from the late 1970s, a time most Americans still remember vividly. A time of disco lights, muscle cars, and a nation finding its identity again after a turbulent decade. But in 1977, deep inside the Philadelphia Mint, something happened. Something the world wouldn't fully understand until decades later. A small number of Washington quarters were struck without any Mintmark at all. At first, no one paid attention. It was just another year, another batch of quarters rolling into circulation. But over time, collectors began to notice something off, something eerie. Some 1977 quarters didn't carry the usual signs of their birthplace. No D for Denver. No S for San Francisco. Nothing at all. Just a blank, smooth space, as if the coin itself had forgotten where it came from. 1977 was a critical year in the evolution of American coinage. By this time, silver had long been replaced by a copper-nickel-clad composition, a sandwich of metals designed to save cost and extend coin life. But that year, the Philadelphia Mint was operating at unprecedented speed, churning out hundreds of millions of quarters to feed the booming economy. Amid that rush, tiny imperfections slipped through, imperfections that decades later would make numismatic history. The absence of a Mintmark might sound like a small thing, but in the world of coin collecting, it is everything. You see, Mintmarks tell the story of where a coin was born. When that mark is missing, and it shouldn't be, it turns a normal quarter into a mystery. Collectors call it the Phantom Quarter of 1977. And to this day, no one knows exactly how many of these ghostly coins exist, only that they are astonishingly rare. Pick up a 1977 Washington quarter, and you will instantly recognize its classic design. The noble bust of George Washington, sculpted by John Flanagan, gazing left with quiet strength. On the reverse, the proud eagle, wings spread, clutching arrows and olive branches, a symbol of power and peace. But when you look closer at one of these no Mintmark rarities, the story changes. The fields are smoother. The edges carry an even, balanced reading. The fine condition examples still gleam softly, a sign that they were struck cleanly and survived the rough decades of circulation with surprising resilience. And right below Washington's neck, where you'd expect that tiny D or S, you see nothing. Just empty space. That little void transforms this ordinary quarter into a legend. Because in that space of nothingness lies a story worth tens of thousands of dollars. Today, the 1977 Washington Quarter without a mint mark is one of the most hunted modern rarities in America. Why? Because even though Philadelphia officially didn't use a mint mark until 1980, not every 1977 quarter is rare. Only those with unusual die characteristics, crisp strikes, and preserved surfaces attract serious attention. In fine condition, these coins stand out with strong rim details, visible hairlines, and clear lettering, signs of limited wear and careful survival. Auction houses have begun reporting shocking sales, with collectors battling for the finest examples. Coin enthusiasts across the United States are scouring their old rolls, coin jars, and inherited collections, praying to spot that ghost quarter. And the buzz is spreading fast, because this coin's market momentum is unlike anything we've seen in years. And now, here's the moment you've been waiting for. Right now, in 2025, the current verified market value for a 1977 Washington Quarter without mint mark, in fine condition, is a staggering $85,000. Yes, 85,000 United States dollars for a coin that could easily pass through your hands without a second glance. This is not speculation. This is today's market reality. Numismatic experts confirm that this particular coin's price has been climbing steadily, month after month, as demand for high-grade 1970s rarities explodes. The market value of this coin is increasing day by day. Wait for time, it will rise even more. Don't take this as fiction. This is the truth. That's the magic and the madness of the 1977 no mint mark quarter. What once bought a pack of gum is now a piece of treasure. If you're serious about finding one of these elusive coins, here's what to do. Start by inspecting every 1977 quarter you come across. Yes, every single one. Use a magnifier and look carefully below Washington's neck. You should see no mint mark at all, not even a trace. Then examine the coin's details. Strong edges, clear features, and a balanced shine are key indicators of a high-quality strike. And here's the most important rule: never clean the coin. Even the slightest polish can destroy its collector value. If you believe you have found one, handle it only by the edges, store it securely, and have it graded by a professional service like PCGS or NGC. Collectors pay massive premiums for authenticated, well-preserved examples, especially those documented with minting anomalies. Finding one could literally mean you have uncovered a modern American treasure. The 1977 Washington Quarter without a mint mark is living proof that treasure isn't always ancient, buried, or locked in a vault. Sometimes it is right here, born in modern America, circulating quietly through decades of history, waiting for one lucky person to notice it. Think about it. Millions of people have spent these quarters without a second thought, and yet a select few hold fortune-level value. Every time you check your pocket change, you might be one heartbeat away from a discovery worth $85,000 and growing. This coin's legacy is rising fast, and collectors are calling it the modern ghost of American coinage. It's rare, it's real, and it's rewriting what we thought we knew about the 1970s quarter series. So don't walk past your change jar. Don't overlook that old coin album. The next great numismatic discovery might be sitting there right now, waiting for you. Because here at Rare Coin News USA, we bring you fresh daily updates on America's most shocking coin finds, real stories, real treasures, and real money-changing hands in today's market. And trust me, the next coin on our list, it is even rarer, even more mysterious, and it could make the 1977 quarter look like pocket change. Stay tuned, because the treasure hunt has only just begun. Coin number 4, the 1974 Washington Quarter. No Mintmark, fine condition, the hidden revolution coin. All right, treasure hunters, brace yourselves, because this next coin is where the story turns electrifying. This isn't just a coin, it's a piece of American evolution. Born at the very heart of a decade that reshaped the nation, this coin carries a story that few people know and fewer still believe. Picture this. It's 1974. The Watergate scandal is shaking Washington. Gasoline prices are soaring, and America is reinventing itself under immense pressure. Yet inside the Philadelphia Mint, in the middle of this national storm, came a small, humble piece of metal that would later be known as one of the most underrated treasures in the United States. Numismatic history. The 1974 Washington Quarter without a mint mark. At first glance, it's just another coin from your change, but beneath its copper-nickel skin lies a story of error, endurance, and a value that defies all logic. 1974 marked a turning point in coinage. Silver was long gone, replaced by the durable copper-nickel blend that became the standard for U.S. quarters. The Mint was refining new striking techniques, experimenting with pressure levels, plancher quality, and die polishing, all in an effort to modernize production. But among those millions of ordinary strikes, a select few emerged, different. They carried no mint mark. Not unusual for Philadelphia coins, right? True. But here's where things get fascinating. Collectors discovered that some 1974 quarters without mint marks had incredible strike precision, almost proof-like, yet were never meant to be proofs. They bore subtle die markers, slightly deeper rims, and razor-sharp details. These weren't your everyday circulation coins. These were accidental masterpieces struck under optimal conditions, then quietly released into the world. For decades, nobody noticed. These coins blended into change jars, passed through stores, vanished into drawers. But as the modern coin market began exploding in the 2000s and beyond, collectors started looking backward, and what they found stunned everyone. Among the surviving 1974 quarters, only a tiny fraction displayed these extraordinary features, and their rarity ignited a frenzy. The 1974 Washington Quarter carries the timeless portrait of George Washington, but on certain rare examples, the no mintmark fine condition survivors, there's something magical about the way it catches light. These coins gleam with a natural, satin-like tone that hints at superior die preparation. The rims are clean, the reeded edges sharp, and the eagle's wings on the reverse seem almost alive with texture. And then there's that telling blank space beneath Washington's neck, the missing mint mark, which gives this coin an almost ghostly elegance. It's a quiet absence that speaks volumes, marking this quarter as one of the hidden gems of mid-20th century minting. Each of these rare no-mint-mark 1974s tells its own story, a story of precision, chance, and survival in a world where nearly everything was meant to look the same. But these coins, they dared to be different. Today, the 1974 Washington Quarter, without mint mark, has evolved from overlooked change to collector obsession. Numismatists across the United States are chasing them, searching through old rolls, drawers, and inherited collections, desperate for that one fine condition survivor that still carries the crisp edges and deep detail collectors crave. Because here's the truth. Most quarters from that year are heavily circulated, beaten down by decades of use. Finding one in fine condition with sharp relief and clean surfaces is beyond rare. When one does appear on the market, the excitement is electric. Auctions ignite. Collectors bid fiercely. Prices climb higher than anyone expects. Because this coin isn't just rare, it represents an entire era of US minting when perfection slipped quietly into circulation by mistake. And that rarity, that accidental excellence, is what has made its price soar beyond imagination. And now, here's the moment that will stop your heart for a second. The current market value for a 1974 Washington Quarter without a mint mark in fine condition right now, in 2025, stands at an incredible $81,000. $81,000 for a coin that could be sitting unnoticed in a coin roll, a pocket, or a forgotten jar of spare change. That's not myth. That's not internet rumor. That's reality. And its value? Climbing. Day by day. Month by month. Year by year. Experts agree this coin's upward trajectory is real and unstoppable. As collector demand for transitional and no mint mark quarters intensifies, the 1974 no mint mark continues to break expectations. So when I tell you this coin is treasure, I mean it. A literal treasure, minted not in gold, but in history itself. If you want a chance to find one of these legendary pieces, pay attention to every detail. Look for a 1974 Washington Quarter with absolutely no mint mark below the bust. Don't mistake worn marks for missing ones. Real examples are clean, smooth, untouched beneath Washington's neck. Next, examine the edges. In fine condition, these coins should show clear reading, minimal flattening, and even tone across both sides. And most importantly, keep it authentic. Do not clean or polish it. Cleaning destroys patina and ruins collector appeal. If you believe you have found one, have it professionally graded and authenticated. Collectors are paying premium prices for the real deal, coins that tell a story of survival, not restoration. Because owning one of these isn't just owning a coin, it's holding a slice of America's silent revolution in your hand. So here's what makes this so beautiful. The 1974 Washington Quarter without a mint mark isn't about gold or jewels. It's about the extraordinary hiding in plain sight. It's a story of how something small, simple, and forgotten can become priceless, not because of what it's made of, but because of the story it carries. In fine condition, this coin is worth $81,000 and rising. But in truth, its real value is emotional. It represents discovery, history, and the thrill of realizing that even the most ordinary things can hold extraordinary worth. So keep searching, keep looking, because the next time you empty your pockets, you might just find a quiet little coin that could change your life forever. And remember, Rare Coin News USA brings you fresh daily updates on America's rarest finds, latest values, and most unbelievable stories from the world of coin collecting. Stay tuned, because the next coin on our list is one that collectors are calling the diamond of the Washington Quarter world. It's rarer, it's more valuable, and its story will leave you speechless. Coin number 5, the 1976 with Bicentennial Washington Quarter, gray shade, fine condition, the silver spirit of America. And now, coin lovers, treasure hunters, and history seekers, this is it. The moment we have been building toward. Because the 5th coin on our list isn't just rare. It's not just valuable. It's legendary. We're talking about the 1976 Bicentennial Washington Quarter, the coin that captured the heart of America's 200th birthday and against all odds became one of the most powerful treasures in today's rare coin market. This coin isn't just metal, it's meaning. It's a heartbeat of history, born during America's grand bicentennial celebration, 200 years of freedom, resilience, and identity, the 1976 quarter stands as a symbol of unity, pride, and craftsmanship. But the rare Denver Mint D Mintmark version, with its soft gray shaded patina and near-perfect preservation, has become a collector's miracle. Because what hides behind this coin's modest face is a story worth over $100,000. Let's step back to 1976. The nation was alive with celebration. Fireworks lit the skies, flags lined every street, and the U.S. Mint prepared to honor America's 200th anniversary with a brand new coin design, the first major redesign of the quarter in decades. Gone was the traditional eagle reverse. In its place appeared a drummer boy, proudly beating his drum for liberty, a design by Jack L. R. that symbolized the spirit of America's revolution. Two mints took up the task, Philadelphia and Denver. But only a fraction of the Denver-struck coins would survive in collectible condition, and even fewer would carry the mysterious gray shade tone that has driven collectors wild in recent years. That soft gray color, unlike the usual bright nickel hue, came from a unique oxidation process in the coin's copper-nickel layers. It's not a flaw, it's a fingerprint of time, a sign that this coin has lived history. And it's those gray-shaded, fine-condition survivors that have become the modern treasures of American numismatics. Hold one of these in your hand, and you'll feel something different immediately. The 1976 Bicentennial Quarter weighs 5.67 grams, copper-nickel clad, bonded perfectly over a pure copper core. But what sets the rare gray-shade examples apart is their tone. Under light, they shimmer with a smoky silver hue, an aged luster that feels ancient and dignified, almost as if it carries 2 centuries of stories. On the obverse, George Washington stands strong, resolute, his portrait framed by the dual date 1776 to 1976, an emblem of the nation's endurance. Flip it over, and the reverse shows the drummer boy, his stance proud, his drum detailed with precision, the flame of liberty above him. And just beside the design, the small yet mighty D Mintmark, Denver's mark of craftsmanship. But here's the secret that makes this coin so magnetic to collectors. Among the millions minted, only a tiny handful exist today in fine condition with that authentic gray tone and fully intact detailing. Those are the ones breaking records. Those are the ones turning heads. Those are the ones changing lives. Now let's talk about demand, because this coin has taken the collector market by storm. The Bicentennial Quarter has always been a favorite, but the 1976 with D gray shade fine condition version has recently exploded in popularity. Collectors across the United States are realizing that these are not just souvenirs of the nation's birthday, they're time capsules. The combination of its symbolic design, its unique gray tone, and its survival in fine condition has made this coin one of the hottest modern collectibles on the market today. Major auction houses have reported record-breaking bids for authenticated examples. Collectors are hoarding them, investors are tracking them, and the value is climbing faster than ever. This isn't nostalgia, this is opportunity. Because as history repeats itself, patriotic collectors and serious investors alike are rushing to own this piece of America's soul. And now, here's the part that shocks even veteran collectors. The number that transforms disbelief into excitement. The current market value of a 1976 D Bicentennial Washington Quarter with gray shade in fine condition as of right now in 2025 is an astonishing $111,000. Yes, you heard that right. $111,000. Not in theory, not in hype, in the real, living, active rare coin market. This coin has gone from a 25-cent piece to a treasure worth more than most could imagine, and its value continues to rise every single day. Experts are calling it the heartbeat of modern American coin collecting. And they're right, because it's not just about rarity, it's about legacy. Owning one is like holding a piece of America's 200-year journey frozen in metal. This is not fiction. This is the truth of today's market. If you ever dream of finding one of these legendary bicentennial treasures, here's what you need to know. Check your quarters for the jewel date 1776 to 1976 and the D Mintmark just beside the drummer boy's image. Look for that unique gray shade, not dull, not blackened, but that soft, even tone that comes from age, time, and authentic oxidation. Then, inspect its details. In fine condition, you will still see crisp lines in the drummer's drumsticks, clear stars, and well-shaped lettering. That's the mark of a survivor. And one more vital rule: never clean it. The natural gray patina is part of its magic. It is what separates a priceless collector's coin from a common one. Handle it gently. Protect it. Because this coin is more than a find, it's a miracle of history. And that, my friends, brings us to the end of this incredible journey through America's most extraordinary Washington quarters. From 1959 with D Silver Legend to the ghostly no Mintmark mysteries of the 60s and 70s, and finally to this breathtaking 1976 with D Bicentennial Treasure, each of these coins tells a story of heritage, endurance, and unimaginable value. The truth is simple. Rare coins aren't just pieces of metal. They're stories. They are symbols. And sometimes they are fortunes waiting to be found. So the next time you grab your change, don't just see quarters, see possibilities. Because history doesn't always hide in museums. Sometimes it jingles quietly in your pocket. And who knows, maybe your next handful of coins holds $111,000 worth of American pride. Stay tuned, treasure hunters, because here on Rare Coin News USA, we bring you fresh daily updates straight from the heart of the US. Coin World, new discoveries, rare finds, and the stories that remind us all why collecting isn't just a hobby, it's a passion. So make sure you like, subscribe, and ring that bell, because the next coin we uncover might just change everything you thought you knew about what's hiding in your change.